Want to earn a bit of coin?
He's here! Fucking come on then!
Let's go!
Come here, lily liver. God Christ! Yeah.
No, go away.
Good day.
I've got some goods here whose owners might miss them.
All right. Let's see what we can do about that. Take care.
Look what I've got for you. You'll love this. good fella. That's my boy. Look what I've got for you. You'll love this.
Have a look at these cucumbers. They'll stay firm all winter. Buy them before someone else does.
Everything for the house, garden and field. Knives, axes, plates, bows. Henry, best prices.
Good to see you, lad. Sir Hanush told me you won his tourney. Good job, Henry.
Sir, this investigation into the Neuhoff massacre... it's getting a bit complicated.
What have you found out?
I tracked down a gang of robbers who recruited killers for Pribyslavitz. They know the whoresons who torched Neuhoff.
That's excellent news. Did you find out any more?
So far, not much. If I'm going to infiltrate them, I have to do what they say. That means murdering one of their former cronies, a fellow they call Pius. Apparently he was at Neuhoff too.
You have to kill a criminal to prove yourself to them? Huh. I don't much like the sound of it.
That's not the worst of it. This Pius is hiding out in the monastery pretending to be a novice. I'd have to get inside the cloisters to get at him.
Good God above, that's another matter entirely. They don't let just anyone into the cloisters, and the abbot won't give up any of the novices. Secular law has no jurisdiction inside the monastery. But this is the second time that something untoward has happened there. First the counterfeiters, now this. I'd be glad to have someone take a look inside.
It seems like the only way to find Pius is to join the order. Damned if I know how, though.
A bit of meditation and learning would do you good. If it's really the only way to get to him, then you'll have to do it. I'm sorry I can't be of much help. Sadly, my relations with the monastery aren't entirely congenial. You'll have to figure something out for yourself.
What should I do with Pius once I find him?
Don't kill him. Bring him to the bailiff in Rattay. He'll interrogate the man and give him a fair trial.
It doesn't sound like an easy task, sir. Getting into the cloisters, finding Pius, and then getting him to the bailiff.
Far from it, lad. But I have confidence in your abilities. See you later.
To be reduced to begging. I've got something for you. I know this is your favorite.
It is indeed. Thank you. What actually happened to you in Skalitz? I mean, during the attack and... well, you know.
That's a long story. Not a very cheerful one. Are you sure you want to hear it now?
I do.
All right, then. It was a day like any other. Another ordinary day in my ordinary life. I awoke at first light, before the others. I like those kind of mornings best. When the first rays of sunshine quickly drive away the nighttime cold. Hello, you. Come here. And the breeze carries the scent of dew-covered grass and the bloom of spring. Oh, look at you. Aren't you a nice boy? I wanted to get my chores done before the rest of the household was up. And this morning seemed made for that very purpose. Right, better get to work. I have to feed the hens, weed the garden, feed Pinker. I'd better get it all done before Papa is up. There's a good doggy. That's my boy.
What's the matter with you today, girl? You're like a lost soul. Therese!
What do you need, Papa?
Where have you been slacking off? The hens haven't been fed. They won't lay if they're hungry, you know. The garden's not weeded. I told you yesterday to do it. You could at least take care of that poor dumb mutt. Look at him, how he's starving. Do I have to do everything myself at my age?
Sorry. I was outside and I forgot myself somehow.
And what were you doing outside at that time of the morning? Now, don't tell me. Enough of your nonsense. Better run to the forge and get those nails. They ought to be ready by now. Here, take this coin and run along.
All right, Papa.
And before you go, wake Samuel. The boy's still lying in bed and he should be at the mine already. You ought to follow Stibor's example. The pair of you. I don't have to push him to go to work. Well, at least you're not as bad as that good-for-nothing Zbyszek. The lazy wretch. A helper like that isn't worth a damn. If it weren't for his father, God rest his soul, I'd have thrown him out on his ear long ago.
Aye, he's an idler, that one. And he'd hardly give you the time of day, never mind a kind word.
God will reward him in kind one day, mark my words. You could tell him to get his ass to work too.
Right, go for nails, send Samuel and Zbyszek to work. If it's at all possible.
Aye, just so. Oh, and Teresa, once you've done all your chores for the day, I've a little surprise for you.
A surprise, Pa? Don't you want to tell me about it now?
Curiosity killed the cat. What kind of surprise would it be if I told you, girl?
Oh, all right.
How are you, Teresa?
She only started not long ago. Always in.
No sign of the blacksmith. Where can he be?
God's blessings.
Father sent me to pick up nails, but there's no one at the fort.
Aye, sorry, lass. Martin had to go to the castle to talk to Sir Radzig. He's to forge a sword for his lordship.
Oh, I see. And has he made the nails for Pa?
I'm afraid he hasn't had time on account of that sword. But if you come tomorrow, he'll surely have them for you. I'll remind him this evening.
All right, I'll stop by tomorrow.
Do that, dear. Oh, and by the way, the girls were looking for you.
Which girls?
Bianca and Johanka. You should stop by and see them before you go home. You girls must be plotting something.
What was it about?
They didn't say, but it seemed important. Which probably means boys, I suppose, eh?
Don't talk to me about boys, good wife. I've 3 fellas at home, and that's Bishek at the mill. You get more use and less braying out of a donkey.
You're very sensible for your age, lass. I'm sure you'll change your mind when your pa finds a good husband for you.
I'd like to know where. Thanks for letting me know. I'll stop by tomorrow for those nails then.
Not at all. Oh, and another thing, Teresa. Have you seen Henry around anywhere? If he helped his father out more at the forge, there'd be no shortage of nails.
I haven't seen him at all.
No doubt he's at that swordplay with that so-called combat master again. If he could wield a hammer half as good as a wooden sword, there'd be no shortage of nails.
Teresa, I'm glad to see you.
I'll take this. This is enough. God save. What can I do for you?
Any news, Maruna?
Well, there's a peculiar fellow standing by the potters on the outskirts, selling strange trinkets, relics and the like, and he's got a peculiar talk to go with it.
Peculiar in what way?
Well, I went to see what he was selling and greeted him politely, and he started on about how I'm a pretty girl and what have you.
What's so strange about that? Fellas are always talking to girls that way if they don't wear a wife's scarf.
Ah, but that's not all. He started on about how we're different from one another, men and women like, and in a vulgar way too.
So, what did he say was the difference between men and women?
He said a woman's body is the opposite of a man's, that they've got their, you know, outside, and ours is inside. And that it's because men have more heat inside their bodies, and that pushes their things out. But we're colder, and so we've got it inside. Do you think it's true, what he says?
It sounds like a lot of nonsense to me. Maybe he was just trying to seduce you.
Oh, with talk like that?
Well, you know what asses men can be.
Then he's an even bigger madman than I took him for.
I'd rather not say anything on the subject. Take care of yourself, Maruna.
What will it be today?
None too happy about it, eh? I'll stop by.
God save you, Tess. What will it be today? I'll take good morning.
May the Lord watch over you, Tess. Good day to you. What do you need?
What's new in the village, Yarmila?
Did you happen to meet that scholar who's been wandering around here since yesterday? He told me a wonderful story from olden times when Princess Libusa ruled. You've heard about Libusa, haven't you?
Did you find it?
No. I don't know her. Who was she?
Really? I thought everyone knew that story. She was a princess of bygone days who married a plowman, and he later became king. But she was a seer too, and she had all sorts of visions. And she founded Prague.
That's interesting. What did the scholar tell you about her?
About the Maiden's War. Would you like to hear it?
Maiden's War? That sounds like a good story. Tell me about it.
Girls were different back then. In pagan times, they could live... How did he put it? Free of the yoke of marriage. They bore arms like men and waged war. And they chose their own leader. And they even dressed like men. Can you believe it?
What happened to them?
He said they were so bold that they even built their own fortress, where no man was allowed.
They really did that themselves?
Oh, aye. And when the menfolk found out, they were envious. They came together in great numbers and built their own fortress in sight of the Maiden's one.
What? Men and women lived separately in their own castles?
They did, and they waged war on each other. The men were braver, but the women often outsmarted them.
Naturally. How did it end up?
In the end, they agreed on a truce. To celebrate peace, they feasted for 3 days, and each man took away one bride.
Oh, I was expecting it to end differently.
I'd be happier too if the women won and could grab any husband they wanted.
A pretty picture indeed. Thanks for the story. It was quite inspiring. I must be going. Our fortress is still ruled by men, and they haven't learned to clean up after themselves.
What was it I needed? This isn't it.
Thanks. Here is your change.
I'll finish it off for you today.
Great.
Greetings.
How are things with you, Pickman?
Pickman? I thought only the fellas at the mine called me that.
Oh, sorry. Samuel sometimes mentions you, and I suppose I got used to it. Does it bother you?
Ah, what's the difference? I'll never shake it anyway. Pickman the idiot who chopped off 2 of his toes with a pick.
That's awful. People are always getting hurt in the mines.
God be with
How did it happen exactly?
Just not paying attention, I suppose. We were digging a tunnel and I simply hit my foot with a pickaxe. It went through my boot like a hot knife through butter.
That must have hurt awfully.
It hurt like hell. Now I have to stuff the tip of my boot with straw or I can't walk straight.
I'd better be going. There's lots of work to be done. Be careful now, all right?
Yeah. Teresa.
Why is that, for the love of God? You know what my old man is like. Nothing ever good enough for him. Always turning his nose up at everything I cook.